Once upon a time, this episode actually meant something. I'm just joking with you. Here it is, we finally get to talk about the MLP pilot, the thing that started it all. What started this really great show and amazing and really fun fandom. It's basically the episode that helped me get my YouTube start. What made me make so many friends over the years, and just had a lot of fun. So it does mean a lot. And with all that said, the MLP pilot is... I'm gonna be honest, it didn't do much for me. It never really did, to be honest. This episode never really convinced me to keep watching the show. It was written by Lauren Faust, who is a misandrist, and their works aren't really a thing that I really look forward to, especially since DC Superhero Girls. I know this was 2010, but the problem is Lauren was always better at building a world. Actually writing a story was never really her strong suit at all. And I stand by my statement that the show got monumentally better after she left. We got better character interactions, better story, better lore, less racism. I wouldn't say that Lauren was shit at writing, it's just that if she wrote the whole show, I don't think I would still be watching this show to this day. Yeah, I met her in person last year at BronyCon, and it was fun, but that doesn't mean that I can't criticize her. As for the actual two-part, this is the only two-part of the show that I think each part is different in quality. But I decided to still put them together because it's easier, even though I still think this is the weakest two-part of the whole show. The first part is better paced, and it's probably the best way that you could have introduced these characters to the show for the time being. The lack of shining armor and Princess Cadence notwithstanding. The second part fell too fast, and maybe we should have had a 3-part premiere instead of just a 2-parter. This isn't the only 2-parter that should have been a 3-parter, but we'll get to those later when we do. Also, why did the CMC meet each other here despite them not supposed to get together for like another 10 episodes? And why was Triad surprised that Luna was Celestia's sister? I never got that. Almost never got the fact how it took 7 seasons to explain how the elements of harmony even originated. So, yeah, I've seen better. Same thing with this one, honestly. Just like how the season 1 premiere is the weakest 2-part of the show, the best night ever is the weakest finale of the show. The only real thing to note that was fun in this episode was Father Shy's, you know.
You're going to love me!
Yes, ma'am. But seriously, I do love that part. But that part over the years has toned down. And Pink and Mina was literally the episode before this one, and that one still holds up while this episode has aged. At least the pacing in this episode is better than the pilot, but I'm not a big fan of anything else. You know you got a problem when me mentioning that this was Octavia's first episode is a more fun fact than anything else in this episode. You know, a background pony. Yeah. Especially after you watch Make New Friends But Keep Discord. That episode is a lot more fun version of this episode here. Also, I just want to point out that they tried to make a parody joke of Cinderella by Rarity smashing the glass slipper, even though that Rarity wasn't wearing glass slippers prior to that scene anywhere else in the episode. Oh, let's just abandon a child. Again! Yeah, Spike says this.
Time at the gala together.
And then all of the main 6 leave him alone. So what does Spike do? Goes get drunk. Yeah, this was also kind of why I used to think that Spike was an adult when I was younger. Although, considering that cider is how ponies get drunk in this one, not donuts or salt, this joke has then aged. Spike joke ain't as funny anymore. Oh, so this show has a theory that we find out in this episode that it's possible that 2 members of the main 6 could actually be long-lost family members. Applejack and Pinkie Pie could possibly be long-lost cousins. That's an interesting idea. Unfortunately, there's a smudge on the official document, so they have to go on a family road trip to find the answer. They go and get this verified, and the result is...
The pages are smudged.
Oh. There is no answer by the end of the episode. Yes, Hasbro decided that they want us bros to determine whether or not they were family. They left it ambiguous. I don't mind Hasbro leaving Applejack and Rainbow Dash being lesbians and being married to each other in the series finale because it's pretty clear that they're married there. Because there's subtle hints and references, i.e. you could easily figure out the answer there. But there's no hint of it here with Applejack and Pinkie Pie. By the end of the series, we never find out if Pinkie Pie is an apple or not. Which is bad because that's literally what the whole point of the episode Pinkie Apple Pie is about. To find out if Pinkie Pie is legal family or not. And there's no answer by the end. So it is literally a waste of 22 minutes. Why is there no answer? I wouldn't mind Pinkie Pie being part of the Apple family. Plus, if Pinkie Pie was part of the Apple family, and by Rainbow Dash marrying Applejack, then half of the main 6 will actually be family members to each other. And that will actually be fun. Speaking of family members, introducing Pinkie's real family, and Heartbreakers, and not just Mod Pie this time, but Pinkie's 2 other sisters, Marble and Limestone, and Pinkie's parents as well. And just like Pinkie Apple Pie, I am disappointed in this episode, but for different reasons this time. Have you ever noticed how much Pinkie Pie is an outcast to her family? That's because to me, it always felt like that she resented her family. Like her family didn't like her despite that one party. Pinkie always wanted to have fun and be happy, but but her family didn't like that. They only cared about hard work and nothing else. Maybe Mod Pie kind of wanted some happiness in her life as well, and her and Pinkie Pie could be really close. Hence why Pinkie Pie would care about Mod Pie so much in the episode Mod Pie, and why we see both Pinkie care for her and vice versa in pretty much every single episode that they're both in together, because of Pinkie's abusive family. Hell, that would also answer why Pinkie Pie really wanted to be Applejack's cousin, so that Pinkie Pie for once in her life could experience what it's like to have an actual loving family. In the actual Heartbreakers, Pinkie Pie is already fine with her own family, and they're fine with her as well. So, why was Pinkie Pie so excited to be in Applejack's family if Pinkie's own family's already nice? All that does to Pinkie Pie is make it look like she's just getting social brownie points. You know, because if you're into more families, it means more presents or something selfish to gain, I'm sure. Which is sad, because I feel like there was a lot of wasted potential with the actual story. The episode itself is fine. I don't find anything particularly wrong other than Limestone Pie being annoying at times, or Marble Pie being a Fluttershy 2.0. I just wish the show had a better setup for Pinkie Pie's life. We could have gotten something that is deep and dramatic with her. Instead, we just get something simple that really doesn't matter. In the second half of the episode, we get some family bickering, reducing the likes of Pinkie Pie and Applejack to tears. Because that's what makes a loving Christmas.
I don't know. Don't make me choose.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh wait, I take that back. There are two problems with this particular episode. And if you want to add on to Pinkie Pie's problems, Pinkie Pie in this episode tries to commit the felony of incest. If you have sex with a family member as an immediate or cousin, it is viewed as a felony and you will go to a federal prison for a minimum of 5 years. Which is what Pinkie Pie was trying to do with Big Mac and Marble Pie. Have two cousins fuck each other. See why I wish we knew if they were family or not? That's just not good at all. Or as Gravity Falls likes to claim it, Twincest! I don't really recall much happening in either of these two. In Castle Sweet Castle, the main five make a mess of the castle, they fix the mess, and that's pretty much that one. In this episode here, Spike stalls Twilight to get the castle fixed in time, and they fill the castle with memories and crystals of the first 4 seasons after Twilight's old home was destroyed. Uprooted is the same thing, but with the Student 6 and the castle of the two sisters in the Tree of Harmony instead. So much nothing happens in this episode. Iron Will was funny, definitely was more funny than putting your hoof down. Also, he scammed the princess lol. I know people complain about Twilight in this episode, which I don't get why. Twilight deserves to be angry after being lied to about a flying ship tour and how her fame was being used. Honestly, this kind of reminds me of the first Aladdin without Disney treating Robin Williams. But I hate how Twilight's family is in this one. They treat her like fucking shit.
You were right, Twilight. They were breathtaking.
Great to know that you don't give a shit about your little sister. Oh, and Flurry Heart wasn't as fun in this one as A Flurry of Emotions. Once again, she was 100% useless. Oh, and Twilight's family signs contracts without reading them. Who does that? A Bird in the Hoop. This is the last MLP episode that I don't like. Over the years, this one has definitely gotten more tame in my eyes. No longer in my top 10 worst episodes of the show. I still find it gross, just not the grossest episode anymore with Baby Cakes being grosser. And it does have a nice message of you shouldn't take shit without asking. Although I think Twilight should have known what a Phoenix was, because she doesn't know what one is in this episode. Oh, why is this the only episode with Philomena? I always did love Pinkie Pie in the show. While she might not have the best episodes ever, although Leia on this list might disagree with that statement, I do love her. And how can this show make me love Pinkie Pie more? Simple. Clone her! I just love how Pinkie Pie is in this. Well, actually, I love all the Pinkie Pies. I don't care if the clones are bad. Clones in animation are really fun to watch, even though they usually fuck up. Except for Pixel Pinkie. That's the one cloning episode I don't like. That was a bad episode. I do like how Pinkie Pie is trying to make time for all of her friends. And this episode has the best fourth wall joke in the show.
Walls? But we're outside.
However, I do have a problem with Twilight in this one. Basically, this episode confirms that Twilight believes that Pinkie Pie is a crazy idiot, and nothing else.
Please. The real Pinkie Pie never sat that long in one place her whole life. You're wasting your time.
Well, that kind of makes the Trivial Pursuit make sadly more sense. And to make matters worse, Twilight doesn't have any hesitations on shooting what could be the real Pinkie Pie. She's so determined that Pinkie Pie is just a stupid lunatic that she's willing to blast the real Pinkie Pie away, possibly. What if she got the wrong one?
Before you know it, you're locked in a room with 50 Pinkie Pies watching paint dry.
I like this one because of the dynamic between Rarity and Fluttershy, although I don't know why Twilight has to keep her mouth closed the whole time. I do love the cupcake joke, the stick a cupcake in my eye. That's the funniest joke of the whole episode. Otherwise, it was just a nice simple episode. I like the idea of Big Mac being Sugar Belle. It's nice to finally give characters from Star Wars Village more screen time, and I love the goofy song in this one. And Feather Banks is just the funniest way of being a cock block in this show. Although I don't really care for the Pin Beths reference, especially since the colors are wrong! As for the breakup-breakdown, I also thought this one was just fine. I just love how Discord was in this one, not caring for love. His shenanigans were fun to watch. Though I prefer if this was a second Ogres and Oubliettes episode. This is the episode of MLP that I seem to forget the most, and I have no idea why, to be honest. It's just a simple episode. Diamond bitches in this, and she's bitching as usual. So how goes that redemption of yours? I find it odd that Granny Smith is the one that found in Ponyville because of this line from Twilight.
So for hundreds of years, they've never used magic to clean up winter.
How old is Granny Smith? She must be like over 300 now. Also, I have to imagine what Apple Bloom would do without bringing a family member in. Okay, folks, and we're just gonna learn some fucking fractions. Hey, Apple Bloom, why don't you just ask your parents to come? Oh. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Keep it together, man!
The idea of diversity and overcoming situations on both sides is well handled here, even if this is the only episode with the Buffaloes. Why is this the only episode with the Buffaloes? Especially since they respect dragons. Hey, wait a minute!
You shitting me?
Please don't tell me that's the only reason. Alright, to address the elephant in the room, I will say that it's a little harder going back to this specific episode because of the Josh Gordon and Lily Orchard collab that they did back in 2014. I am gonna address some points from Lily Orchard throughout this MLP list because I plan on doing a special kind of Lily Orchard video with lovely Lena this coming Christmas. Anywho, with Over a Barrel, I love both of the sides, and I love the fast-paced humor in this one, like with the horse-drawn wagons, and I love Brayburn. I think he was pretty fun. It's just a nice episode to watch. I always did want to hear more on the origins of Equestria, although I actually didn't believe that the legends at first were real until Shadowplay. I thought they were just fictional legends, not things that actually happened in the past. I do like how this is a nice sequel to Sleepless in Ponyville, although it's weird that Rarity can do the shadow puppets. I like that Rainbow Dash wanted to be more of a sister figure to Screwloop. The Raku flashback is similar to the Avatar episode The Fortune Teller, in which both had the same solution, Miss Mainsfield's Japanese story-like, and Flash Magnus has the Dragon Lord aka Emperor's Fire back over 1,000 years ago. I think my problem with this episode is that we got most of the development in this episode and not future episodes. As in for the Pillar 6. Like, I thought after they were brought back to life, we would have gotten several episodes with them. We sadly didn't get any much episodes at all. I really love Celestia and Luna's bonding in this one. It's really fun and I love seeing the two different sides of them on what they like to do in their free time. It really builds both of their characters. Also, Luna being excited about a post office tells me that she needs to get out more. And I love how crazy Celestia gets in her free time. I wish I could spend a free day with her. It tells me that we would really have a good time together. And the song is just fun. But this episode didn't even make my top 100 favorites. Why is that? Oh, I know why. It's because of the stupid subplot with Twilight and her friends. It's pointless as fuck.
One question. Why?
It doesn't matter.
What do you... What do you mean it doesn't matter? Everything matters. It tells me that they wanted to do a plot with the main six on preparing them to rule Equestria, but they didn't know how to do it, so they result in pointless shenanigans. And why pair this with the Celestia/Luna plot? Look, as bad as Spike at Your Service / Gaines Ponies plays were, at least those two episodes were kept separate. Why couldn't they do that here? Would it have been too hard to write 22 minutes of Princess? I gotta be honest, this episode is just fine. I didn't really see anything big about this one. I know some people hate how Applejack constantly lies, but I just don't find it as the worst thing in the world. I've seen her do worse shit throughout the show, like how she treats Apple Bloom. Though the Big Mac thing problem is still bothering some because he did nothing wrong. I did laugh a few times. The funniest joke to me is finding out that Spoil Rich's original name was Spoil Milk. That makes me laugh. That makes me laugh out loud every time. I think the reason why I don't have much to say on this one is because this one has been overshadowed by The Perfect Pair. The Perfect Pair is a much better flashback episode in every single way. For one, we actually get to see Applejack's parents, while here we have to speculate where they are. I heard that behind the scenes that Megan McCarthy said that the parents were just out of town, which is disappointing in the grand scheme of things. To tell you the truth, I thought that this episode was going to be the origin of the parents in Season 6, not Season 7, because after The Perfect Pair, there really is no point to this episode, even if this one came out before The Perfect Pair. Just because this one came out first doesn't mean that it's pointless now. They said that where the apple lies is why Big Mac started only saying yup and nope, but it's not enough. I thought it was something more traumatic for Big Mac, but no, he's only like this because of Applejack's lies. And to end off part 5, Daring done! Is she done writing? No, she's not. The end. Okay, real talk. I kinda wish that Caballero wasn't such an obvious twist. Like, at the very least, give him a different voice to help him speculate himself or be different. I do like the Sphinx riddle, and I thought that was pretty clever. And I'm glad that AK Yearling continues to write at the end. Oh, and by the way, I can make so many J.K. Rowling Harry Potter jokes now, since J.K. got cancelled and AK Yearling is supposed to be a parody of her. So Namia's story was fun, but the town ponies are too easy persuaded. Like, you could tell them literally anything and anything would be good. You could buy this for $5 and then everything will be great. Ooh, he's a weeaboo, who? You see my point? It's kind of like that. Also, I highly doubt that Rainbow Dash would ever be into politics.
Oh, let me see that. I never knew you were so into politics, Rainbow.
And also, the kind of solution of walking would have been better if we got to see those air filter things at the beginning. We don't, by the way. And yeah, that's about it. I think we're good here. I'll see you all next week. Star Giant Productions out.